All right. I think we made it. Welcome, everybody. Let me know you're here. We are live with the wonderful Karin Carr. I praise you to everybody as the YouTube agent, the agent that people need to come and check out when it comes to YouTube. And they don't want to spend thousands of dollars on fancy little things that actually, are not going to get used, but I know you're going to get into all of this. So say hi. We're going to have people logging in right now. Say hello. We do have a comment section up, so feel free to use that one. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And then without further ado, I'm going to let you introduce yourself a little bit. I do want to point out you are, in my book, a rock star that is keeping it real. And this is the part that I think I just, love most about you. Yes, your success is awesome, and I know you're going to talk about it, but you are a real person, a real agent, and you're going to set us straight today. So welcome, Karin.
Well, thank you so much. What a lovely introduction. Yes, I am a real estate agent in Savannah, Georgia. I am no longer in production. As of December 31st, I am now out of production. And of course, as soon as I said that, that was it, like out of production, I got an REO listing. This is the first REO I've had in 10 years. So, I'm going to teach my team how to do REO listings. So it might be my name on it, but we'll have the team doing all that stuff. And I said, my goal now is to make all of my agents successful. I just want to teach them how to have amazing careers and get all these clients and not work crazy long hours and be profitable, not say, well, I made $300,000, but I spent 200,000 of it on Facebook ads. Like, I don't want that. I want them to be profitable and have this great career and also have work-life balance and all that stuff. So yes, I love talking about this stuff because there are a lot of real estate coaches out there in the world who have never sold a house. And that is not me. I've been a licensed realtor since 2005. And I have found something that is extremely effective and costs pretty much no money. And so I just want to share the love.
I love that. And share the love is what we are all about over here, because like I said, there's a lot of stuff out there, but keeping it real is, everything that this is about. And I don't think I gave you screen sharing capabilities yet. So I'm going to fix that, because not only are you going to hear to talk, you actually brought stuff to look at. And I'm like a big visual.
Right.
So
I'm all about the visual aids, because you can look at me for 45 minutes and be bored out of your mind, or you can look at cool stuff on screen and just listen to me wax poetic about it, and hopefully it will keep your attention better. So shall I launch into my presentation?
Please do. Lay it on us. How can we get buyer and seller leads on YouTube, Karin? We're all here to know.
That is what we are going to do. Let's see if I go into presentation mode. Let's do that. Does that look good? You see the entire thing and it's easy to read because it's ginormous and everything?
Yep, I can see it all.
Perfect.
Cool. On Facebook. We're good.
We are good. All right. We're talking about how to build your business through YouTube. So after today, I want you to know exactly where you should put your marketing efforts that will get you the best ROI, not in terms of the money that you're spending, but in terms of the time that you spend doing it, because time is money. What's keeping you from getting leads from the videos that you make right now, and things that you could start doing today that will totally change the way that you are lead generating and hopefully make it a heck of a lot more fun. So this strategy could be for you if you are tired of putting the Zillow sales reps kids through college. Now, we were talking before we started the broadcast, and I am emphatically opposed to buying leads because I think that it turns us into a commodity. It makes us all the same. They don't see anything that makes us different from the agent down the street. They're only looking for whoever's going to do it the cheapest or whoever's going to give them a kickback of the commission. And I'm sorry, I don't want clients like that. That's not how I care to earn my business. This could be for you if you just hate cold calling, and that would be me. I have tried it and it works. I cold called somebody. They listed me, or they used me to sell their house. So we listed their house and sold it, and then found them a replacement property. But dear God, that was not an easy client to work with. And yes, I got paid, but what is your sanity worth? And if that person called you again and wanted to do another transaction with you, would you take them or would you run screaming? So if that's not the kind of client that you want to work with, then how about we try something else? So the reality is I give this presentation all the time and people hear it and they go, yeah, that sounds so great. I'm all jazzed up. And then they don't do a darn thing. Here's the deal is if you're going to do it, you have to do it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but imperfect action can yield amazing results. And then the more you do it, the better you get, the more you perfect the technique, and pretty soon you're an old pro. So you won't be an old pro on day one, but that's okay. Like, I don't know anything about sports. I was going to say Tom Brady didn't win the Heisman Trophy, but I don't know if he's ever won a Heisman Trophy. But the point of that was somebody who wins a Heisman Trophy did not win it the first day they ever played football. They had to get out there and practice over and over and over again in order to eventually become the amazing person that won the Heisman Trophy. So how did I just stumble upon this awesome thing? I got my license in 2005. Here's the world's greatest headshot right there. Remember when Rachel from Friends was the hairdo of choice? And so I had my little flippy hairdo and my arms crossed and my black blazer, thinking I was all that. And somehow I stumbled into listing bank foreclosures in 2007. By the grace of God, because I only sold a couple of houses my first year. I think I sold 3 houses my second year, and I was putting my resume out there into corporate America. I was fully prepared that I was going to have to quit real estate and go get a job because the market had crashed in California and nobody could sell and everyone was afraid to buy because prices were just plummeting. So these were some of the most beautiful listings that I had during those days. If it was the ugliest house on the street, it invariably had my sign in the front yard. It was like people said, "Oh my God, I see your signs everywhere." And then they'd get this look on their face like, "I'm sorry that those are your listings." These were not beautiful $1 million listings by any means, but I was selling a ton of them. And the volume that I had was amazing. So I was a big fish in a small pond. I was winning awards. I was in the Remax Hall of Fame. I remember I got the Platinum Club for those of you that are with Remax, and I got to meet Margaret and shake her hand on stage before it was called R4, it was called something else. I was the president of my local chapter for WCR. Life was good. And then we decided to move cross country because my parents live in Georgia and we realized we were all the way in California and we had nobody here to support us. So we said we were moving to Hilton Head, South Carolina. I truly thought all I had to do was go to the banks and say, "Hey, I've moved. I'm in a new area. These are now the zip codes that I cover." And I didn't get a listing. And the next month I didn't get a listing. And the third month I didn't get a listing. And I realized that I had no idea how to generate leads. Like I had not had to do that since the very first year in real estate. And let's face it, I'd only sold 2 houses the first year in real estate. So I wasn't really doing that bang up of a job. And I thought, oh boy. And then my husband said, "Hey, guess what? I just got transferred to Atlanta." So now it's another state, another place where I have to get licensed, another place where nobody knows me and I have no market share and I have no sphere. And what the heck am I going to do? So I thought I was going to quit. At that point, I said, "Okay, that's it. I'm just going to give up real estate and I'm going to get a job, or I'll be a stay-at-home mom or something like that." It was very humbling to know that 2 years after I had been a very big dog in my market, winning all kinds of awards, that I was failing so miserably, I almost left real estate altogether. So I said, "Okay, I'm just going to give it the old college try. I'm going to go back and do everything that they tell the new agents to do. I'm going to circle prospect and cold call. I'm going to try blogging." And I did ads on Facebook and I posted on Craigslist and I was farming and open houses. I even went to the mall because they told me to pass out 100 business cards. And the very second person that I approached was the undercover mall security who promptly escorted me to my car, put her hand on the top of my head and shoved me in my car and said, "Please leave and don't come back." So it was like, God, there's got to be an easier way. There's got to be an easier way to get business than doing this stuff that I hate, that I really am fundamentally opposed to. And I discovered that I did like blogging. Like I said, I can sit at my computer and write for half an hour a day. No problem. I love doing that, but it's very time consuming. So I thought, well, what if I just made a video instead? What if instead of writing out my 3,000 word blog post, I just looked at the camera and I spoke? And I don't have a script, but I know pretty much what I'm going to talk about. What if I just did it? So I thought, it's got to be faster than writing a blog post, right? And then I can just embed the video on my website and we'll call it a blog post. So I started doing that, but the videos were terrible. So here were my earliest videos. I did one about the Home Partners of America program. If any of you have that where you live, it was a rent to own program. It's had a whopping 786 views in 5 years. Ouch. Then the mortgage interest rates one, 66 total views in 4 years. Yeah, we are very proud of that one. And then the third one, like why I thought it was a good idea to put the text right across my face, I don't know. And then it has my face on there twice, not once, but twice, because I want to make darn sure you know who made this video. So I have my face on there twice. Again, terrible. And then Chris came home and said, hey, guess what? I've been transferred to Savannah. And I'm like, is this grounds for divorce? Like, can I really kill my husband because he's made me move so many times? But Savannah was where we had wanted to be in the first place because that's where my mom and dad live. Hilton Head was pretty darn close. It's just right across the border, across the Savannah River. So I said, okay, fine, let's do it. Because I'm still not, by then I was selling some houses in Atlanta, but it was not anything to write home about. So I figured, what the heck, made as well. And then something truly amazing happened. We were literally still unpacking boxes when we got to Savannah, and my phone rang, and I don't know why my screen is not advancing. This man said, oh my gosh, I feel like I know you already. I have watched all of your videos. My wife and I are going to sell our house in New York. We want to move to Georgia. I want you to help us. My budget is this. I need this. My wife's name is this. My name is this. My dog's name is this. He tells me his entire life story. And I said, dude, I moved 5 hours away last week. You couldn't have called me a month ago. Like, you have the worst timing in the whole world. And they were very disappointed that I could not personally help them. I had to refer them to a former coworker. And it was kind of like, ding, ding, ding. When he said, I feel like I know you already, that one phone call changed the rest of my career. So in that moment, I said, I'm going to make one video a week and put it on YouTube. And I don't care if it's good. I don't care if it's overly produced and fancy. I'm just going to commit to making one video a week, and I'll give it 6 months and see what happens, because what else do I have to do? I'm brand new in this market again. I don't have any name recognition. I don't have any market share. I don't have anything that will help me. And I said, I'm just going to make one video a week. So I spent that summer learning everything I could about YouTube, because the kids were home from school. I had no business. So I had nothing but time. And I watched a heck of a lot of YouTubes on how to make this work as a lead generation strategy, not branding and not top of mind awareness. I wanted it to be like, ring, ring, hello, I would like to buy a house. Will you help me? I would like for you to represent me, please. I wanted to make this an actual lead generation strategy. So these were some of the videos that I made after I moved to Savannah: how to list your home on Zillow and how not to. It got 7,000 views. Now, obviously I was trying to go after the FSBO market with that video. Then I did one called Moving to Savannah, 10 Reasons Why You'll Love It Here. And it got 30,000 views. Then Living in Savannah, What I Love and What I Hate. I wanted to keep it real and say, it's humid. We have cockroaches. We get hurricanes. I wanted to tell them, if you're being transferred here because you're in the military and you're going to Hunter Army Airfield, it's not like you have a say in the matter. You're coming here. So let's tell them the good, the bad, and the ugly, and point them in the right direction. And that one got 47,000 views. It's well over 50 at this point. It was crazy. But more important than the bragging rights was that my phone started to ring off the hook. I started getting actual paying clients who found me from these videos. So after 9 months, I was getting almost all of my business from YouTube. And after 12 months, I went to my broker and said, I think my children have forgotten what I look like. I'm working a ridiculous number of hours every day. What do I do? And she said, I think you need to form a team. So the Georgia Coast Homes team was born out of sheer desperation. Now think about this: 12 months after I relocated to a new city where I didn't know anyone here except my mother and father, I had to form a team because I was having so much business coming in. 100% because of free YouTube videos. I'm telling you guys, this is crazy. We're getting 3 to 5 inbound leads a day. It's probably even more than that. It's probably more like 5 to 7 at this point. And they tell us, like that email on the left, that is a typical email that I get. It doesn't say, hey, I'm interested in 123 Main Street. They tell me their whole life story. They are ready to sign an exclusive agreement to work with me that moment. never having met me before. It's crazy. So we get about 30,000 views a month on our channel, which is amazing, but that's not viral. It's not like, I made a video and it got 1 million views. It's not like that. We get about 300 new subscribers to the channel a month, which is fantastic. I love YouTube so much. I wrote a book about it. It's called YouTube for Real Estate Agents. The Kindle version is a whopping, oh, look at that, the paperback. The Kindle version is 99 cents. The paperback, I think, is 10 bucks. I did an Audible version too. If you get the Audible version, message me and I'll tell you the fun backstory of how I recorded that thing. And then I do have a Facebook group as well. It's called YouTube for Real Estate Agents, where all we do is just geek out about YouTube and what's working and how, like, give me some feedback, tell me how to get better. I started teaching YouTube because it was so effective for me and my team, and everybody was asking me how to do it. So I said, okay, well, I'll make a whole program and teach you about it. And somebody posted in our group, I think this was from June or July last year, where she said, I'm at 240,000 GCI from YouTube alone, and it was only halfway through the year. But the thing that I liked the best was when she said, some of the best clients are from YouTube, and they're just like me. They're easygoing, chill, they're fun to work with. They are not high maintenance. They are not like super demanding clients. They are the same personality that she has. And that is one of the most beautiful things about YouTube. So imagine if you were making 6 figures a year where you only worked with clients who actually respected you and your time. What if you didn't have to answer your phone 24/7 because you were going to miss out on this hot lead that you paid a crap ton of money to get? And if you don't answer your phone, the next guy will. What if you got leads every single week from people who were loyal to you, and they didn't say, well, if you can't run over and show me this house right now, I'm going to drop you like a bad habit and go hire the guy down the street because you're all exactly the same? And what if you could just sell a few extra houses every single month without hammering the phone and cold calling people for 2 hours a day? Like, I am here to tell you that if you're looking for the simplest, most effective, and inexpensive way to get motivated leads on a regular basis, video is the answer, and YouTube is the vehicle to get there. Boom. Mic drop. So here are 5 lies that people believe about online lead gen and why it's keeping them broke. So lie number 1 is that you have to be on all of the platforms. Lie number 2 is that YouTube only works if you go viral. Lie number 3 is that online leads stink and they're very hard to convert. Lie number 4 is that you need to be young and skinny and gorgeous and extroverted in order to be on camera. And lie number 5 is that it just takes way too much time to do any of this stuff. So lie number 1, you have to be everywhere. You have to be on all of the platforms and spend hours a day on social media. I would argue that it is more effective and it's a better use of your time to pick one platform that you really, really like and just dominate it, master it, commit to it 100%, and give that the majority of your attention. I know that on social media in general, less than 10% of your followers see any of your posts, which really stinks. So if you're putting all of your effort into Facebook or Instagram and less than 10% of the people that follow you ever see your post, that just makes me so sad. But YouTube is a search engine. It's not really social media. I mean, it's kind of social media, but it's more search engine than anything else. So people on YouTube are already in video consumption mode. They went to YouTube for one reason only, to watch videos. And they don't have to be 2-minute long videos. They're prepared to sit there for a while and watch a longer video. They are searching for the information. So everything that you watch on YouTube, think about it. Like, when you log onto the YouTube app, what do? Well, you look at what's on your homepage and maybe you click around on some of those, or you search for something. Like, if I'm going to go to bed at night and I want to find some great, music to play in the background to help me sleep during the night, and I search for, relaxing, crashing waves music, and I find one that's 8 hours long and I put it on so I can listen to it overnight, they are doing the same thing. In this example, they typed in moving to Boise, Idaho. Ain't nobody going to type in moving to Boise, Idaho unless they're thinking of moving to Boise, Idaho. So that's somebody who's raising their hand and self-identifying the fact that they are going to need someplace to live when they get there. And quite possibly they're going to buy a house and they'll need a real estate agent to help them. They are only going to see your video if they are interested in the topic. It does not start to automatically play as they're scrolling through their news feed like it does on Facebook. They have to click on it in order to watch it. So if they click on it, we can assume that they were actually interested in the topic because they wouldn't have clicked on it otherwise. So that means 100% of the people that watch your YouTube video actually cared what you were talking about in your YouTube video. I guarantee you that is not what happens on Facebook, right? So here is a pro tip. Use a browser extension called Keywords Everywhere. It is $10 for 100,000 search credits. I am not an affiliate. I wish I were. I could retire right now. I'd be so rich. So you say, I'm going to get this plugin, and then I go over to Google and I act like I'm the consumer. So I'm thinking about moving to Boise. My husband just got a job there. He wants to move there. I'm like, dude, I've never been to Idaho before. I don't know anything about it. Am I going to like it? So you go moving to Boise, Idaho. And it says 480 searches a month. The competition is 0.25. That means 480 people a month are typing that exact phrase into the search bar. They could also be typing in moving to Boise. They could be typing in relocating to Boise. They could be typing in any sort of variation of that phrase, but that's a lot of people that are interested in moving to Boise. And then on a scale of 1 to 100, the competition is 25, which is pretty low. Like I say 1 to 33 is low, 33 to 66 is medium, 66 and above is high. Never do anything with high competition. Even medium, like it's iffy. Go for the low hanging fruit. Go for the one that gets very low competition. And that way you're pretty much guaranteed to show up at the top of the search results. And I met Summer Aston. I had a real estate conference in Savannah last year, and she came to it and I got to meet her for the first time in real life. And I was like, girl, you are on fire. How is this going? She's like, are you joking? Like I make that video and it gets 60,000 views. Like I had to form a team too, because I'm so busy. It's crazy. And it all comes from YouTube. But instead of publishing videos all about you and about your business, create educational and entertaining videos around the subject of your video, the topic of your video. You don't want to make it a big commercial all about you. Enough about you. I want to talk about me. No, don't do this. People don't like it on YouTube. They don't go there so that they can watch our commercial. And for whatever reason, YouTube or real estate agents seem to think that like, hello, I need to broadcast my face all over the billboards and the park benches, and it's all about me. It's not. It's about what we can do for them. So here's a video that has done extremely well on my channel. And it was, do not go to Savannah without knowing these 7 things. I don't have my face on the thumbnail. I don't have like all of this branding all over the photo that it's all about me. And instead I say like, are you thinking about moving to Savannah? There are 7 things that you need to know before you pull the trigger. Then I introduce myself. Hello, I'm Karin Carr. I'm with Real Broker in Savannah, Georgia. You have to do that so you don't get in trouble with your real estate commission, but it does not have to be the first thing out of your mouth. You do not need to have your phone number splashed across the screen. You do not need your logo like flashing in the background behind you. The more salesy you make that video, the less it's going to perform. I'm telling you, if you make it very unsalesy and just give them all of this great information, it makes their walls come down and they're much more receptive to what you have to say. So can you see why YouTube is so powerful as a marketing tool over just other social media platforms, for example? Number 2, you need to have videos that go viral in order to get clients from it. You absolutely do not. I know plenty of people who are getting a crap ton of business from their YouTube channel and they have like 78 subscribers. You don't need to have videos that are getting millions of views in order for this to work. In fact, none of my videos at this point have gone viral. Now, I'm not going to lie and say that I wouldn't love that. Of course, I'd love to have a video that got 1 million views, but I haven't. And it certainly has not stopped us from being a major producer in our market. So as I'm looking at this, like 9,000 views, 6,000 views, and this was in what did I default it to? I think it was defaulted to the last 90 days. Like that's awesome, but that's not really going viral. That's not a video that like you published it and it just went crazy. And it doesn't have to. It literally does not have to go viral in order for you to get that kind of business. So Rick is in Florida. So is Ann. I think the last time I gave this presentation, I was speaking to a group of realtors in Florida. And he said, I have 19 subscribers and less than 400 views over 6 videos. I got my first person that reached out to me today. And he eventually got this person under contract and they bought a house. So like 6 videos on his YouTube channel, less than 450 views, and he got a client from it. Anne got her first client. I think she said he moved here from South Africa. She lives in St. Petersburg, Florida. After her 3rd video, like that she put on her channel, it doesn't have to, like, you do not need amazing numbers in order for this to work. And I feel like, wouldn't you rather have 100 views and get 3 clients from it than have 30,000 views, but no business? Like, it's not about the vanity metrics and it's not about the bragging rights. It's about the people that will actually call you and hire you for your services. Lie number 3, online leads are terrible and they're hard to convert. They are only hard to convert when you are the one doing the chasing. I will tell you, I used to run a lot of Facebook ads back when I lived in Atlanta and I was dying for business. I ran Facebook ads out the yin yang and I would get like 100. And I would call and email and chase and text those people who would not respond. It sucked. Like, who has time to do that? Who has time to chase people who don't want to talk to you? But when they are the ones chasing you, it is a whole different ball game. Bob is in New Jersey, and he said it is such a great feeling when somebody calls you from watching your videos and they say, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to you." It's kind of weird, but it's kind of awesome too. It is awesome. And the first time it happened to me, I died laughing. I was like, "Oh my gosh, you totally are great for my ego. Thank you so much." Because she was all like, "Oh, I can't believe I'm talking to you." But then it happens again and it happens again and it happens again. And after a while, you just start to say, okay, like, I don't know why anyone thinks that I am famous, but they do. So that's cool. And the reason why is they feel like they are special when you agree to work with them. They feel like we are doing them a favor by agreeing to take them on as a client. Like, imagine if, I don't know, if George Clooney were a real estate agent and he was listing your house, you would tell everybody you know, right? Like, George Clooney is listing my house. I feel so impressive. That's kind of how they feel about us with our little YouTube channels. I know it's ridiculous, but truthfully, that's how it works. But when you buy leads, they only cared about the house. They did not care about you. They don't know who you are. They don't care who helps them. They're not loyal to you. They just wanted the house, and you are the thing standing between them and the thing that they want, the house. So they just want somebody who's going to do it and do it as fast as possible and hopefully as cheap as possible. But how much more fun would your business be when people call you and they say, "What do I have to do to get you to take me on as a client?" I've actually had people say that before. And it's like, like, get pre-approved. That's it. I don't have a lot of requirements. Lie number 4, you have to be young and skinny and beautiful and extroverted and have a great voice. People are hung up on the sound of their voice too. Listen, did you hire your plumber because he has washboard abs? Or did you hire him because you have a leak under your kitchen sink and you don't know how to fix it? And so you hired somebody that has the expertise to do it, and you had a problem that needed to be solved. They don't care what you look like. This is a channel that I follow. I love this lady. We bought a house out in the country and it had a chicken coop when we bought it. I know nothing about raising chickens. I was born in New York City, well, Queens, but never had chickens before. Don't know anything about it. Found her channel. I watch her all the time. Now you're looking at her thumbnails in here, and no offense, Becky, but people are not watching your channel because they think you look like a supermodel. They're watching your channel because you have a great personality. You're very educational. You're fun to watch. You are real and relatable and encouraging. And she's got like 488,000 subscribers at this point, but nobody is watching because she looks like a supermodel. This is my friend Will. He's a realtor in Montana. He shows up on camera like this. He wears jeans and a baseball hat and all the things. And he jokes and says, like, if my wife would get on camera, we'd probably have twice as many views and twice as many subscribers. But the people that call him don't call him because he's so fancy. They call him because he's just a dude like them, and he's down to earth and real. And what they like about that is that when they hang out with him, he's not going to make them feel inferior because he drives up in his purple Lamborghini. He's just a guy like them. And that's what they like about him. Clients want real. They don't want perfect. Nobody has ever called me and said, I almost hired you, but you let your gray hair grow out and I just can't deal with that. Like, it doesn't happen. It's an objection that is completely fabricated in our minds. It does not happen. So stop making it the reason that you don't get on video. These are all agents that say that they're introverts. I think being an introvert is a great thing for a YouTube channel because I film in my home office and there's nobody here. There's nobody here to watch me. I feel like I'm talking to one person, not an audience. I'm not talking to 3 million people at the same time. I'm talking to one person. And nobody's here to watch me and judge me and critique my performance. I think that being an introvert is actually a real asset if you choose to go the YouTube route. And Emily from Iowa, I just love her story the best because in December, she texted me a picture of her standing in front of her Tesla and it said, looky what YouTube bought me. So she is doing so well with her channel. She actually went out and bought herself a Tesla. I think it was like a Model K. I don't know what they are, but Mary is in Minneapolis. Philip just moved to somewhere in rural Georgia. They're all getting business from their channels and they're all very subdued. They're not overly outgoing and gregarious in their personality. And you don't have to be. You can totally be yourself on camera and you will attract people that like that about you. Clients want to know how we can help them and solve their problems and reach their financial goals. They do not care whether you have crow's feet or you need to do a couple of sit-ups. Then line number 5 is it takes just too much time for you to make these videos for YouTube. I would say, would you have more time if you stopped doing the things that don't work and that don't bring you business, that take up a lot of your time that we already know are not super effective? Here is why YouTube is my platform of choice. I did an incognito search and I looked for how to increase your Zestimate. And my video is still showing up at the top of the search results. It's had over 10,000 views and it's a 4-year-old video. I did that 4 years ago. It probably took me half an hour to make that video. Still shows up at the top of the search results. It was going after FSBOs again, like how do you increase the Zestimate? So let's say that you want to list your house at 350, but the Zestimate says it's only worth 300. You're going to get a bunch of lowball offers. People think you're being greedy. Is there a way that you can increase the Zestimate to justify your sales price? And of course, as I go through this video, I point out all of the flaws with doing it for sale by owner. And wouldn't it be just so much easier if you hired me to come list your house instead? So the shelf life of a video on social media is 3 or 4 days. But this video has been out there for 4 years and it's still showing up at the very top. Your video on social is interrupting what they were doing. But if they Googled how to increase your Zestimate, they're looking for the information. They're not searching for real estate information on social media. They're just not. Your video shows up in their newsfeed and maybe they watch it. And maybe they scroll right past it because they're not in the market to do a transaction anytime soon, but they were not seeking it out. It was shoved in front of them. On YouTube and on Google, they are seeking it out. And Google owns YouTube, so YouTube videos show up on the first page of Google all the time. But, you know, back in the day, this is what I used to do. I would do a post like this on Facebook. If you're thinking about selling, call me, all that stuff, right? So it's had 1 comment, Darlene is another real estate agent. It's had 2 likes, Jessica and Stacy are real estate agents. So of the 3 engagements I got, they were all agents that I know. So did that bring me any business? No, it brings me nothing. So if we know that it's not effective and we know that it's not bringing us business, why do we continue to do it? This was an agent. I just like randomly Googled a town. I found her Facebook page and it was so sad. Like every single post after post after post, it has 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 engagements. If you are spending your time doing this and it's just not working, what if you just stopped doing that and you reallocated those efforts into doing something that actually could bring you business? And YouTube 100% will if you do it consistently and you're not overly salesy and you give good value in your videos. So do you see why I love YouTube so much? Like the power of this method. So in conclusion, if you are tired of working long hours for prospects who just don't appreciate you and all they want is a kickback, if you spend a ton of money running ads for people that don't have good credit and they're not ready, willing, and able, and they're 3 years out and you just have very little to show from all this money you've spent, spent. If cold calling, door knocking, and other old school methods just, make you want to go take a shower at the end of the day, I urge you to give YouTube a try. It has been hands down the best thing I've ever tried in the 16 years that I've been in real estate now. And I'm killing myself that I did not start earlier. So real quick, what are you going to need as far as tools? You need a camera, you need a microphone, you need lighting, and then you need a way to capture leads. So you can absolutely record with your cell phone. This is my iPhone 13 Pro. I got it for Christmas. I was so excited because it has a really good camera in it. But before that, I had an 11, and before that, I had an 8 Plus, and before that, I had a 6 Plus. I never did not get leads because I was recording on my iPhone 6 Plus. So the quality of the camera is so good. Just use it. Or you can use the webcam on your computer, or you can use an actual camera if you are fancy that way and you have a DSLR or mirrorless camera, go for it. You do want an external microphone. So nothing super fancy, like one of the ones that clips on right here would be great. You can use your earbuds, your Bluetooth earbuds. You can use a USB microphone like this. This is a microphone that plugs into the back of my computer. You can use a shotgun mic. It's called a directional mic. It just kind of points straight at you, and it's attached to either your phone or your camera. Doesn't really matter what you use as long as the sound quality is decent. I have found that people are very forgiving of poor video quality, but they are not forgiving. They will crucify you in the comments if you have bad audio. So get yourself like a $30 to $50 microphone. It will be plenty. This is the one that I'm using right now. I really like it. It's called the Rode Wireless Go. It's a little square thing with a clip on it, and you literally just clip it onto your shirt like this. I think it's kind of clunky and ugly looking, so usually I put it on the inside, and that way all you really see is the little tiny clip, and it connects to your phone with Bluetooth. And so you just start talking, and awesome, you've got no wires or anything. And then for lighting, you can film outside, which will be great. You can face a window. That will be great too. Whoops, I don't know why that happened, but that's all right. You can face a window. You can buy a couple of lights, like it's like a tripod with a light bulb on top and an umbrella in the front to diffuse the light. That works great too. And then if you want to get fancy and have some sort of lead capture, what I like to do in my videos is offer them something of value. So we're talking about, I don't know, we're talking about what the market is doing and how long is it going to take for you to sell if you put your house on the market right now. And then you say, so now you're thinking about selling, but oh my gosh, you have so much to do to get your house ready. No worries. I got a 2-page cheat sheet of all of the things that you should do to get your house ready to put on the market right now. Totally free. Click this link, you can download it. So you make this in Canva or something like that. You can even make it as a Word document. It doesn't have to be beautiful, just has really good information in it. Not too much text. We don't want them to read it and their eyes go crossed. Like bullet points would be great. Make it so that they can easily digest this information in a short period of time. And then you send them to your website or a Google form or MailChimp landing page. Just send them somewhere where they have to give you their contact information in order to get it. They get the thing. So then, yay, they got the 2-page cheat sheet. Now they're all happy, but you get an email that says you have a lead and you get their contact information. And if they feel like they know, like, and trust you from the video, they give you their real contact information. I get real contact information probably 85% of the time. Rarely do I get fake contact information anymore because they wanted the document that I was offering. And they know, like, and trust me from the videos. So it works so well. I love it. So that is that. If you would like my, like, I know I went through this, it's like drinking from a fire hose. Go to videoagentblueprint.com. It gives this whole strategy like outlined in digestible pieces so that I don't make your brain explode. It's at videoagentblueprint.com. And I am happy to answer any questions if we have time. If not, thank you so much for letting me give this presentation in your group. I really appreciate it.
This was amazing. If I read you some of the comments that are coming in, people are loving it. Killer information. Right. She is so in touch with what's valuable for people. Absolutely fantastic information. Excited to start creating videos. Such great
Yay!
information. So I know you can't see the comments. I can, which is why I was glancing over here. And it's just really good. Let me see if I can stop the scroll. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Just super, super amazing information. And I do have a room filled with our VIPs that are excited to start talking to you about some of that stuff. So for those of you guys on Facebook over there, we're going to switch over into our mastermind. So feel free to click that link. I know we're a couple minutes over, but this was phenomenal. So thank you guys all. And before I forget, I do have the paper copy. Okay, so I'm going to plug your book because it is something that you can read within a day. Okay, and it's no fluffy stuff. Like, it is filled with amazing information. Karin, you already gave all the, all the places to get it: Audible, Amazon, whatever it is. I like to mark mine up. Hence, I kind of get the real deal. But yeah, so for those of you guys on the Hyperlocal Agent page, thank you so much for tuning in. And then if I can figure out all my buttons that are on here, I'm going to say, let's switch over and get those people into our Zoom room.
All right.
Awesome. Let's see who we got waiting. This was fun. People love you.
Good. Thank you.
Nailed another presentation. All right.
It was awesome. I was in Atlanta last week speaking at a conference for mostly mortgage professionals. It was probably 80 or 90% mortgage and only 10 or 20% realtors. And it was fun to see them going, "Oh, you mean I could do this for mortgage?" It was like, yes, why not? Why couldn't you?
Just to say, I think like some of the industries that are so heavily regulated are finding such amazing, opportunities with it. So
yeah, I mean, they may have different disclosure laws than we have, but I don't see why not? Like, and then for them, I was saying, are you going to talk to real estate agents with this channel, or are you going to talk directly to the consumer? So if you're talking to real estate agents, you're not going to be talking about, like, I don't know, how do you buy a house with a VA loan? Like, the agents don't need to know that stuff. You're talking about different things. So you just figure out, who are you speaking to with this YouTube channel? But you could make it where you were being so valuable, or giving such valuable information to all these real estate agents, that then they're going to want to reciprocate and hire you for their clients to get pre-approved.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, we've got a room filled with people.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me.
So no, it's not recorded. This is a live Zoom room. And yes, she is a real person, as you just saw on live. And this was good. This was good because a lot of us just need to hear, it doesn't start out with thousands of views on the first video, right?
No.
So this is,
I mean, it probably took me 4 months to even get to 100 subscribers. And that was with me making one video every single month. But here's the cool part. So I started in June of 2017, where I said, I'm going to make one a week. In September of 2017, I will never forget this day. We had gone to Disney World. It's like a 4.5 hour drive to Orlando. We'd gone to Disney World. We were driving home. I was in the passenger seat. My husband was in the driver's seat. And I got an email from my website that said, you have a home value request. So I got a lead through my website where he said, what's my home worth? And I was all excited. And I called him and I said, hey, I'm actually in the car driving home from Orlando. Would it be okay if I do this for you tomorrow? And he's like, oh yeah, of course. And I said, so how did you find me? And he said, from your YouTube channel. And I was like, yes. And I put him on mute and I was doing this. And my husband's looking at me like, what is happening over here in the passenger seat? And it was so exciting. So then when I went to his house on Saturday morning, I said, all right, here's my value. This is what I think the house is worth. Let me show you my whole listing presentation. So who else are you interviewing? And they said, nobody. We picked you. And like, that was the end of the discussion. I said, great. I charge 6%. Here's my listing agreement. And they said, okay. And they signed it. And we listed and sold their house. So it was crazy to me that that was the first come list me I'd ever gotten in 14 years of being a real estate agent, all because of my silly little YouTube channel, where, my videos at the beginning were not good. I did not have good audio. I did not have good lighting. I looked like I was in a lineup at the police station. I was up against the wall and it was not flattering. It was not good. And people called me anyway. So then as my set has evolved and I've gotten better, like I think my set looks pretty good now. It's not fancy. This is the spare room above my garage. We painted it dark blue because I knew if I put some lights back there, it would make it look really cool. So I put my couch on an angle. I don't know if you can see, it's like on a 45. And there's a cardboard box behind it. And then I have these little LED lights on the cardboard box that like shine up. So the blue light just shines up behind the couch.
It is
and
gorgeous.
I think it looks really pretty.
It does.
Yeah.
We were
and then I
joking
put
about
a
my
few.
setup.
Thank you. Yeah, that's okay. That's how we all start. And you just get better over time as you watch other people's YouTube videos and you're like, ooh, that looks really good. And you take a screenshot and then you make a whole Pinterest board of like ideas, right? Of, I really like these dark, dark, dark rooms. Why? Why am I being drawn to that? Well, maybe it's because my super light skin pops against the dark background. Whereas when I was against a beige wall, like I blended right in. My skin was the same color as the wall. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just, it's the beige wall is not flattering to anybody except somebody with super dark skin. Then they pop against the light background. But for the rest of us, it's not the most flattering color ever. So you just pick a different color and you could paint that one wall, or you could go to Lowe's and you could buy that self-stick wallpaper that you could just peel off anytime you get tired of it. That would be fine. My little bookcase, I bought it on Amazon for like $88. It's not expensive, and spent an afternoon swearing as I tried to put the darn thing together, and it was backwards and I had to take it apart and do it again, but eventually got it figured out. And then I put those lights on the bookshelf and just a couple of decorative things. I got a couple of awards. That picture on the top shelf, I love that. My client drew that for me. He was an illustrator for Marvel Comics. And when I showed up at the closing table, he had that for me. And it's a picture of me. And it says, you are our hero, Karin, the super agent, or something like that. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to cry at the closing because my client drew that for me as a thank you. He was a first-time buyer and he just, so excited to finally buy a house. Like that would never happen from a client you got from a Zillow lead, right?
Most likely
Yeah.
not. So I got a question, because moving to Savannah, Georgia seems like a, really big topic. For example, now we talk a lot about a hyper local approach to it. Now I wonder, do you think one is better than the other? Are we attracting more people coming into our area and we should forget about trying to niche, or is there a room for a niching of really drilling it down locally?
I absolutely believe in the niche. So my niche when I started the channel was buyers in the military who are relocating to the area because they're going to be stationed at Hunter Army Airfield. I see you raising your hand over there, Becky. So I said, I'm going to make videos for buyers. They are military. They are not here now. They're moving into the area. That I felt was very specific. And so then my husband's retired Air Force, so I could put myself in their shoes. I knew what they wanted to know. I knew what they were going through, what they were Googling, and I made videos talking directly to that person. This works so well if you work in an area where people are moving into your area because they don't already know 97,000 real estate agents. They're doing these Google searches, and when they find your video and they watch it, and they're like, oh, I really like Becky. She's very nice. And she's giving me all this great information and she's not pushy and I like her personality. They stop looking at that point. They stop looking for other real estate agents and they've just decided that when the time comes, you are the person they're going to reach out to. If you want to do sellers, that's great. Don't make videos about those topics because you're going to attract a lot of buyers. Like, trust me, we get probably 85% buyers from our YouTube channel because of the content that we've been putting on the channel. We still get listings, but we get far more buyers than listings. If you want to get more listings, then what are things that the sellers want to know right now? They want to know, is the market slowing down? Are we going to have a crash? Is there going to be a bubble? How long is it taking to sell? If it's such a hot market, do I need to make any repairs? Do I have to give them a closing cost credit? Do I have to paint my whole freaking house gray? Is that still the thing? Like every room in my house has to be gray, or have we moved on from that? What are the more popular paint color trends? great curb appeal ideas, staging. Do I have to have a professional stager come in, or can I just rearrange my furniture and do it myself? Every question that you get from a seller when you go on a listing presentation would be fair game to make a video about.
And then center it obviously around your area because they want to know, right? Do I need to give a closing cost credit?
You know, there is a channel that I stumbled across the other day. It's called House of Valentina, and she is with KW in Atlanta. She does not talk about real estate on her channel, and she's got about 300,000 subscribers. She talks about interior design and like the 10 things that are brand new at IKEA that will make your house look like it's worth $1 million. So she's got this huge channel. She doesn't talk about real estate. She just talks about making your house look pretty. But I guarantee you she is getting business from that channel because the sheer number of people that watch it, at least a portion of those people have to live in the Atlanta area. And even if they don't, I bet she's getting referrals out of it. So if they contact her and say, oh gosh, I wish you lived in Kentucky where I am. Do you know somebody that you could refer me to? I bet she's getting a lot of business from that channel.
Mailbox money, love it. We got a question right over here. Do you advertise videos anywhere else or only on YouTube organically?
Yep, only organically. I was sharing them on my Facebook business page at the beginning, but we know that Facebook does not want to drive people off of Facebook. So if you just share the link to your YouTube channel, hardly anyone's going to see that post. They're going to try to suppress it because they don't want to drive people off of the platform. So then I tried saying, okay, well, what if I made like a 60-second version of this video? So the video that I made, I'll just take like the little juiciest nugget out of it and I'll upload that natively to Facebook. And then I'll put the link to the YouTube channel in the first comment. That was better. But when I went and I looked at my analytics, it was something like 2% of all of the views were coming from Facebook. And at that point, I was just like, it's not worth my time. So if you have a much bigger following on Facebook or Instagram and you want to drive traffic to your YouTube channel, that's how I would do it. I would not just share the link. I would make a different version of that video, upload it natively, and then try to like hide the link to the video in the comment or link in bio or something like that. But if you don't have a big following on those platforms, don't even worry about it. Just let people find it on YouTube and Google.
Now here's a good one. How long are your videos? Does YouTube limit branded videos?
So everybody thinks that shorter videos are better, and you would be wrong. On YouTube, longer is better. So I shoot for 8 minutes or longer. And I know that sounds like a really long time, but here's why. On YouTube, if your video is longer than 8 minutes, they can play ads at the beginning of the video, the end of the video, and in the middle of the video. Now, to you and me as the viewer, it's totally annoying. We're watching the video and all of a sudden this ad pops up and you have to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, skip. It's annoying, but we understand that that's how the platform works because it's free. So it is what it is. And the more ads they can show during your video, the more money they make from ad revenue. So the longer your video, the more ads can be shown, the more money they make. YouTube is very happy. They're going to promote a longer video all day long over like 2-Minute Tuesday type things. So I say shoot for a minimum of 8 minutes long as the video is interesting and you can hold their attention. If you're not there yet, like start with 3 minutes, 4 minutes long and work your way up to longer videos. But don't think that they need to be short. They do not. The best performing videos on my channel are 10 minutes and over.
So follow-up question on that one. How much time should we expect spending on starting on YouTube weekly? So if you are doing videos this long, I mean, obviously there's research, right?
Right. So at the beginning, I was doing everything myself, and I would say it was about an hour a day. So it was somewhere in like 5 to 6 hours a week is what I was spending from deciding what my video would be about, researching the topic. I would go over to keywords everywhere. I would come up with what the topic was going to be. I would then figure out what I was going to say in the video. I would film the video. I would then edit the video to take out all the mistakes and make it more interesting to watch. I would create a custom thumbnail. I would upload it to YouTube, and then I would do it all over again the following week. After about 6 months, I was so busy that I started to not be able to maintain that schedule anymore. So I outsourced the editing. I found a virtual assistant who would edit the videos for me. Now I spend about 90 minutes a week doing this. So I spend a few minutes thinking of like, okay, what's my topic going to be? Let's do a little bit of keyword research. What am I going to talk about in my video? Then I film it and that's it. I send it to the editor. They do the editing, they make the custom thumbnail, they upload it to my YouTube channel, they write the description, they put the tags in, they write the title, and they schedule it to go out Monday at 9 a.m., which is when I've decided I'm publishing my videos. I go in and I look at it Sunday night. I'm like, nah, that title kind of sucked. I'm going to change the title. Or, oh, I forgot. I wanted to link to my download page in the description below. So I'm going to put that in there too. And that's it. So yeah, it takes me about an hour and a half a week now. And the cool part is, like I showed you in the examples, that the hour and a half that I spend, I will get leads from this years from now, versus something like door knocking. You go door knocking and you get in your car and drive away. When you're done, you're done. There's no more lead generation going on. But this 90 minutes that you spend just compounds over time, and you'll get leads a month, a year, 2 years, 5 years from now. It's crazy how the thing just lives forever out there in the interwebs, and you will still get business from it a long time down the road.
Yeah. Next up on the questions, you publish Mondays at 9 a.m. Is there certain days of the week / times to post that you found better?
I picked Mondays at 9 a.m. because that worked with my schedule. I thought on Thursdays, we never seem to have meetings at the office. We don't do our broker tours, like nothing happens on Thursdays. So if I recorded on Thursday, that would give me Friday, Saturday, Sunday to edit it, get it uploaded and published for first thing Monday morning. In retrospect, I hope people are not watching videos when they're getting to work on Monday morning at 9 a.m. It's probably a terrible time, but that's what I chose. And that's what I've stuck with ever since. It does not matter when you upload, because people are searching for this topic 2 years from now. They're not searching on Monday morning at 9 a.m. So it really does not matter. The only thing I would say is don't post late at night, because if you publish it at 11 o'clock at night and then you go to bed and so does everybody else, then in the morning when you wake up, you've had very few views, except from the insomniacs. So I like to post in the morning, or at least early enough in the day that I can get a whole bunch of views that first day. That seems to like kick off the algorithm and say, oh, people like this video. It's getting a whole bunch of views. We're going to show it to more people because it's getting a really good reaction from the first batch of people that watched it. So just shoot for early enough in the day. But I really don't think it matters which day of the week.
And we're talking about video editing. You already mentioned it. Now you have somebody doing it. Prior to that, any platforms that you recommend people start out on?
I have a Mac, so I was using iMovie. It's free. It comes with the computer. It was fine until it wasn't. It's very, very basic. So I was using it at the beginning and I was totally self-taught. So I went to YouTube and it was like iMovie for beginners, and I watched a bunch of tutorials. And then I got to the point where it didn't do the things that I wanted it to do. So then I upgraded to Final Cut Pro, which I do not recommend. Oh my gosh, it is not easy to learn. It kicked my butt. And so I spent like $400 on this software that I couldn't even figure out how to use. So that's what I did at the beginning. There's also Adobe Premiere, which I hear is extremely complicated. The one I like that I think is very user-friendly is called Wevideo, wevideo.com. It is web-based, so it doesn't matter if you're on a PC or a Mac. And it has all kinds of great features and very easy to use. And it will upload directly to your YouTube channel if you want it to. So when you're all done with it, you just say export and it goes right into YouTube. It's very cool. So Wevideo is what I would recommend. But if you don't want to bother learning how to edit, like seriously, is that the best use of your time? If you're already making money as a real estate agent, it is not. It is not the best use of your time. Pay somebody $5 an hour to do it for you. You could go to fiverr.com or just find a virtual assistant.
Awesome. That was the other question here. So there's a good one, and I think we're going to wrap it up because you have to go. Last one. If the video doesn't get good reactions, do you take it down?
I do not. I will change the title. I will change the thumbnail. I will write a different description, but I'll leave it up there. Like, there's no reason to take it down.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, time's up, I guess. This was phenomenal, fantastic. And for all of you guys on here, if you haven't heard me plug it already, I'm going to plug it shamelessly again. Okay.
Thank you.
It is a great read. If you have, $10 to spare for the paper copy, go for it. This is how you can get into Karin's brain, literally for $10. Okay, guys. So there is nothing better than picking up a book. Your book orders are coming in. They're like ordering the book.
Yay.
Woohoo!
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You got it. Thank you for spending an hour with us. I appreciate it. Thank you all. If you are in the mastermind for the paid one, you have the recording available from the slides and everything. So we're going to make sure it's available for you to go back, rewatch, and look at the stats where she started and look at the stats of where she's now. Big part is start.
That's right.
Awesome. All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Karin. This was awesome.
Good. All right. Bye, everybody.